Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. So today we're doing the Etsy Kickstarter 2022. So it's all up and ready for you. If you already purchased it, you can see everything inside of Podia. So you can just go ahead and download it. So inside of Podia, there are all of the Etsy Kickstarters. There's the 2022, the 2020, the 2019. I can't count backwards for some reason. So they're all out there in case you want to mix and match or you like different colors or styles or something like that. So obviously they do say 2021 if you download that version. So you will have to update all the dates. So, I mean, really, you could update these yourself. I just do this as a courtesy because I know it's kind of a pain to update all of them. So I am going to share my screen and hopefully you have Adobe InDesign up and ready. And I don't think I have Adobe InDesign up and ready. So hold on. I am gonna share screen. Just gonna share the whole screen. I noticed I used to not share this whole screen, and sometimes I would just share like the application. And for some reason, sometimes it cuts information off like the menu, which is very important when you're trying to do stuff. All right. I want to say too, so for today, if you want to purchase this, let me just add the code. Because it is 247. So the discount code is Etsy 67. All right. Etsy, yeah, Etsy 67. And so if you put that discount code in, then you will be able to, I believe, just pay the $67. Yes. Instead of, and I know it says 2021. I'm running late. I didn't update it yet. Don't worry. You'll definitely get the 2022 version. I just haven't uploaded the folder or the picture yet. All right. So we're all looking at a picture in picture. Let's open up Adobe InDesign. And I don't know why, for some reason, Adobe InDesign isn't showing the last file that I was using. It's a few files behind. Let me find it on my computer. Okay. So when you get this file, just so you know, let me show you what you're getting. So your sales file, you're going to get, but you're going to get a lot of other stuff too, but you're going to get the IDML version, which is a super ancient old version of Adobe InDesign. I know some of you still have it, and it still saves out the files like that. So I just include it because inevitably there's always someone who asks for it. The latest version is the INDD file, but both of these will work. You'll notice there's a huge difference between the size of each of them. I honestly don't know what's going on behind the back end, but it seems okay, whichever version you open it up in. You'll also have this folder called links. So links are not what you're thinking. They're not like URL internet links. They're simply just linking to images that are inside the file because the way Adobe InDesign works is to save space on the file. Even though it didn't seem like it because it was 11 megabytes, it actually takes all of those images and puts in the background. In fact, you don't even really need this one. It's an old one. It's the last year for 2021. It was teal. So what you can do, so on my computer, everything's already linked. Now, when you open up yours, it might tell you things are not linked. So here inside of Adobe InDesign, if you go up here to the top to window and you go to links, I know, rocket science, right? If you go to links inside of here, you're going to see all those files that I just showed you. So what you can do is if things aren't linked up, it'll give you an opportunity. Mine isn't because it's already linked. It'll have like a little triangular caution sign. And when you click the caution sign, it'll bring up a file folder directory. And then it will allow you to look for that file. So for that word circle PNG, you'll go through your files, you'll find that folder links, and then you'll find circle.png. And that will match up to what's over here in the links file. And then once you just link one of the files in that folder, as long as they're all in that same file folder, it's going to find all the rest of them and then everything will be linked for you. So I think that's all you need to do when you first set up. So the way I use Adobe InDesign is if you go up here to the top and you go to Window and you go to Workspace, make sure you have Essentials Classic. Essentials, I don't know why. Again, it's just like it says, it's just essential stuff. And so it cuts out a lot of the menu that I actually need to do stuff. Like even when you hit the type tool, it doesn't give you all the type tools at the top. So if you switch over to Workspace Essentials Classic, it's going to give you all those tools at the top that you actually need to get things done. So I understand that Adobe is trying to save space, but I have a huge XDR monitor, so I don't need to save space. I know some people on laptops, maybe especially if you have one of the older 11-inch, you might need more like real estate on your screen. But honestly, I've never been able to work like that. I don't know if it's because I'm nearsighted and I just need to see things really big. But I have always found it tough to have a small monitor. All right, let me try to shrink this down so you can see everything. Okay, so you're seeing a lot of margins here. So don't worry about that. If you don't like seeing that, just go to View at the top, go to Overprint Preview, and then you'll see a few less margins. If you're still not happy with that, you can hit, as long as the selection tool over here on the top left is highlighted, you can hit the W, and then all of it will just magically go away. Also, I hope you guys can hear me. I should have asked. I didn't. So I'm going to assume that you're able to hear me. Let me check. Okay, nobody's complained yet. Usually people are like, we can't hear you. So I'm going to assume everything's all right. Okay, so here is your Etsy Kickstarter file. So if you've never seen this before, it's a planner printable. So basically what you can do is you're going to get this IMDD file, and this is only if you want to edit it. Like I said, you're going to get the PDF. So if we look back at that sales file, you're going to get the PDF, and you can just sell this as is, as a PDF. You don't need to edit or change it in any way. There's nothing on here that says Pretty Fabulous. I've taken out all of my branding, so it just looks like it's yours. Now, if you do want to make changes, you can definitely do that. So let's go in here. So let's just talk about the cover. So here on the cover, if we go over here to layers, you're going to see that, and again, if you don't see layers on the right, if you just go to Window and you make sure layers is highlighted, you're going to be able to see that. So if you want to change this cover, and let's say you just don't like my blue thing and you want to go back to marble so it matches everything else, all you have to do is select something and delete it. So let's say you wanted to put in, I don't even know, blue and gold marble. I'm searching on my other screen. I have two monitors. I don't know. Let's just pick one randomly. I kind of like this. I obviously am just swiping something from the internet, so I don't even know if I have the legal rights to it, but we're just doing it for a demo. So I could drag and drop my JPEG over here, and you'll get this loaded cursor, and you'll just drag and drop that image onto your desktop. Okay, obviously it's low resolution. So let me just stretch it out so it fits. Now, obviously you can't see anything, so we're going to take this and we're going to say arrange, send to back. Okay, so now that's my new background. Obviously, this is a bad choice, but this way you can kind of play around with things, test things out. Maybe a lighter background is the way to go. Let me try another one. So sometimes what you can do is you can highlight this and then you can just drag and drop a new image on top and it will just automatically swap them out. So that's a little bit better if that's something I'm going for. And again, this is just you like testing out things with the cover. So let's say I just want to go with the plain white cover. I'm going to be basic and very simple. I feel like that's just easier. Or maybe I have a different logo up here that I want to put in because I have my own company. And so I could get rid of the words. And let's say I can replace it with the Lisa Siefert planner. That's the name of my company or something. You can go ahead and put that there. Now, if you've never used text inside of Adobe InDesign, it's pretty easy. As long as you double click on something, you're going to be able to edit it. Now, the fonts, I obviously have all of the fonts that were used to create this. If you don't have this font and you go to edit the actual application, you will run into a problem because when you go to edit it, it's going to just automatically choose something else. Like if you don't have, so if I hit the type tool, I can see that I'm using Think Pink. If I didn't have Think Pink, Adobe will try to help you out and pick something else. So maybe it will pick Moonstone because it's on your computer, or it will pick Gotham, or it will pick Nutraface Text, right? Like it's just going to pick something else. So just something to be aware of before you even turn on Adobe InDesign. Like don't even start the application. Load up your fonts. Sometimes when you load fonts, like let's say right now, I was like, oh, let me load Think Pink right this minute. If you load a font in the middle while you already have Adobe InDesign open, there's a 50-50 chance it won't recognize that font. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's why I always say whatever fonts you plan to use, always load them into your computer and then start up the application. You don't have to tell the app to find the font. It will know it's in there, but it won't like seek out new fonts. Excuse me, if that makes sense, after you've already started the program. If you don't know how to load fonts into a Mac, it's super easy. You just go over here to the Spotlight and you search for Font Book. And Font Book, all you do is drag, literally just drag and drop fonts into here, and that's it. I mean, sometimes because I'm a little paranoid, I restart the whole computer to make sure the whole system can see the font. That might be a little extreme. I think you can just start the application. All right, so back to here. You can change this. Now, this is a really big text box, the perfect planner. So let's just go back here. So when I try to edit I can't do it because it's underneath. This happens a lot. And this is why people sometimes lock objects. So one thing you could do is you could go up here and you could lock this object. And then that way, now you can see the underneath. Another option is to actually go over here to the layers, find the word right click it and say select item. And then it will highlight that item for you no matter where it is in the layer order. So maybe you just want to put 2022 over here. Oh, taking up. And again, if you write text that is too big for the text box that it has already been pre-assigned, you just have to make that text box bigger so you can see all of it. So those are different changes. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. If you don't know how to use Adobe InDesign, I highly suggest taking my InDesign 101 course. It is free. It is specifically set up to teach you how to edit these templates. But if I go over here to the type tool and I have 2022 selected and I go up here to the top, as long as I make sure the T is selected, I can change this to pink or light pink or teal or whatever color I want. And now it's all changed. So that's how you edit the cover. So let's move on to the next page. So 2022 and 2023, I've given you both of these as a year at a glance. So my suggestion would be if you want to do anything, you could change the font, you could change the colors. However, I wouldn't change the size of the text. And remember, if you change the font, it could automatically just change, a 10 font in Arial looks very different than a 10 font in Gotham versus a 10 font in Dido, whatever it is. They all look very, very different. So just something to keep in mind. I have used a sans serif font, which means it has no fancy edges to it. It's very more like binary computer looking. And that's because those typically take up less space. So like in here, let's say I didn't like blue and I wanted to go back to that pink motif. So a fast way for you to do that would be to drag and drop, hold that shift key down, and simply drag and drop over all of these. Whoops, I forgot those. And then you could change the text up here at the top, and you could change all of these to pink. Oh, I lie. You cannot do that because this is a table. So that is not true. So you'll have to go in each of these individually and change this to pink. It's a table within a text box. So if you're in Planner Academy, you know how to recreate these yourself. But then you can do that. So same thing, if you want the top to match, you could go up here and the background color is this box here. So you could make that say a light pink, and then you could change the text to a dark pink. Same thing over here. Let's say green isn't your thing. You would rather have, I don't even know, like purple. So you have a dark purple, and then you go to the type tool, and then you can change the text to, let's say, a light purple. So that's all you have to do. So let's go down. So that's the annual page. Now you get your monthlies. So you have 12 of these. These are pager monthlies. They're not a 2-page layout. Same thing. If you want to change the text on any of this, you just highlight them, you hit the type tool, and then you can change the font over here. So I could change this all to Gotham, or let's say I really like that new font I've been using. Sleep lesson. I actually used to use this a lot. So I really like that. And then I want to change 2022. And I want to make this something else. I want to make that Gotham. That's all you have to do. Now, some of these are set up as texts or styles. So if you go to Window and you go to Styles and you go to Character Styles, and if you highlight, so do the selection tool and highlight something. So you can see here that this is Think Pink 50, right? So everywhere I go on these monthlies, when I highlight this, it's Think Pink 50. So if I want to just change all of them at once, I can double click this character style and I could name it something else. Let's name it Sleep Lesson 30. I don't know. And then once I go over here, I can change this font over here to Sleep Lesson. If I can find it. There it is, Sleep Lesson font. And well, maybe I'll just leave it 50. And I'll just leave it 50. Whoops. And I really just, you can name the style whatever you want. You could say monthly headers. I just do that because it's easier for me to remember. And then over here for character formats, you can change that. It'll change everything as well. And let's say I want to go with that pink motif that I had before. So I'm going to do that hot pink. There's some other things here. If you know how to use these, you can use them. I've left all of them blank. And then you can say, okay. And now like magic, when you go to each month, it is all in that Sleep Lesson size 50 hot pink color. So you don't have to do all of them individually. So same thing with the number. If I highlight this, I can see that this is text to 26 as a character style. And again, to get to that character styles menu, all I did was go to Window and go to Styles and go to Character. So if I double click text to 26, let's say I want to change this to, what did I say? Gotham 45 or 25. So I can go here to basic character formats and I can choose Gotham and I can choose 25 as the size and character color. Let's say I want that light pink and I'll say okay. And now everything has been magically changed to Gotham 25. Whoops, now I'm flipping by this, to that light pink. So I don't have to do it individually one by one. So character styles are your friend. I've tried to do it. I think I've tried to do it for most of them. So again, you can just select something. So this has no character style, but you can go through and see if other things have character styles. So now you have all of your 12 monthlies. The next thing is your weeklies. So your weeklies, what I did is you have a light blue color as the background and you have a dark blue for the text. So over here for the text, if you want to change anything, again, I would first check to see if it has a character style. So this is one huge big block. So, and these are obviously two different types of styles. So what you can do is you can double click and you can see that this is now text to large. And when I go over here, I can see that this is Gotham Light 10. Again, rinse and repeat, do that same thing to change them. They will all magically change. So let's say we're going to do this as a light pink. So we can go ahead. The only thing I'm going to change is the color. So I can highlight that pink. I can say okay. And now you can see through the whole document, everything is a light pink. Same thing with over here for the Monday. All I have to do is double click that character style. If I want to change that color to a hot pink, I can just select it there, say okay, and now everything's changed. So hopefully this should make it easier for you to change a few different things. There's really no need to change the numbers. They've been checked like, I mean, definitely tell me if you find a typo, but I've checked them. My assistant has checked them. I actually hired a third person as a proofreader to check them too. So in theory, everything is correct. So over here, if you want to change the background, so this one is also a character style. And if I want to change the background, you can come up here and I can make that, what did we say we were doing? Like a light purple, right? If that's like a color that I want to mix into the group. So this one, I believe though, you're going to have to, I don't think you can change the background on these. I could be wrong, but I think that you need to just select each text box in order to change that background color to your new choice. So you'd have to do that 52 times. It's like, how many weeks are there in a year? There are 52 weeks in a year. So you'd have to do that 52 times. All right. So that is everything with the file. Let's go to, if you go up here to pages, you can see all those pages in here at a glance. So you could jump ahead to the very end. So you'll see at the very end, we end with December. It ends on Sunday, January 1st, 2023. And it says, hello, 2023 planner. So in theory, the planner for next year for 2023 is going to be green. And then over here, it's just the back cover one more time, and that's it. So this is your whole planner. Any questions? I know I did a lot of talking. All right, so I showed you the discount code, Etsy 67 if you want to buy it. I know I did not update the images on the sales page. Sorry about that. I actually don't. I think I hired someone to do that, so I'm not even sure how to update that. We can hear you. Thank you, Ty. Debbie, I'm fairly sure that once you have a PDF of this, you can also do minor edits in Acrobat Pro. Possibly. Yeah, you could. I mean, I've never tried it just because I have the InDesign file, but yeah, possibly. FYI, your rebrandly link goes to a not found page on your site. Which rebrandly link? My rebrandly link. Oh, I'll double check it, but thank you. All right. So that is the file. Now, with this, you also get all of the things that go with the Etsy Kickstarter, which are clearly not updated, but it's all of these Instagram posts. So I updated all of these posts for you so that they are all 2022. I almost said 2023. So let me just show you a couple of these. All right. Okay, say open with preview. All right, so you're going to get your own mood board for 2022. So it has the actual hex codes for those different blues. And if you want to add a third color in, I didn't do it in here, but I would suggest adding a gold color. You're going to see the different fonts that you used. Over here, you're going to get, this is for your Etsy listing. It's like exactly sized for what you need. Here is the logo with a white background. Here's the logo, whoops, with a clear background. That was weird. Here is a Pinterest pin. Over here is your Twitter header. And then you're going to get a Facebook post. And you're going to get Facebook cover art if you want to throw that in the top. You're going to get Instagram. I have 3 Instagram quotes. Here's your second. No, that's 3. And here's your second. And then over here, you're going to get a mock-up of the interior pages if you want to use that and place that on something else. You're going to get this mock-up over here. And you're going to get a mock-up of the cover. So this will be transparent, and so is this. So then you can just lay it on top of anything. And you'll get this Etsy editable Photoshop file. So now if you've never used Photoshop, let me just show you really quick. You'll get this file as an editable file. And if you open this inside Photoshop, so over here on the right, you're going to see a bunch of layers, like a lot of layers. I don't know why. Why is this so big? All right. Why can't I get rid of this? Close tab group. Oh, There we go. All right. So over here on layers. Now, if you don't see this inside of Photoshop, if you just go to window and you make sure layers is selected, it'll show you the layers panel. I don't know if it'll put yours on the right. It might be floating like this history panel. But either way, layers work just like InDesign layers. Whatever is on top is what you're going to see, and whatever is on the bottom is going to be like behind the other images. So at the very bottom of this is that on air mic and flower. I don't know, these are old ones. Okay, so over here, if you don't like that, you could just do the little eye. This is an actual eye to make sure if it's visible or invisible. You could turn it off if you don't like it. Same thing, the word the, you can turn it off, turn it on. And to edit this, you could just double click inside of here. Whoops. Just kidding. You want to hit the type tool and then you can click inside of there. So you'll notice when you hit the type tool, for some reason, the perfect planner is showing up because again, that's such a large text box. So what you can do in here, in InDesign, you lock files you lock layers so you don't see them. Here, all you have to do is make it invisible. And now you can take the word the and you can put a la or I'm thinking like French words. You can say it's the, or whatever you want to say. And then same thing with this text tool, you can change this color. We could make this purple. I'm just picking purple because it was being used before. If I go over here to window and I go to character, you're going to see, it doesn't show up on the top like it does InDesign, but you can pop open a character file or pop-up window, and then you can choose any fonts that you want over here that are available to you. This has the double T, capital T's, so which means everything is capitalized. You could just turn that off and it will just put everything back to whatever you entered it in as, like lowercase or uppercase. It'll just take that. This is really close together. So I don't know if I want it for this type of font. So I'm just going to say 0 and you can see it spaced it out a little more. So yeah, so there's different things you can try out here that'll make it like a tiny, tiny thing, or it'll make it a tiny thing on the bottom. This will make it underline. This will do a strike through. You can change the size over here. So this one, you don't have to worry about the text box. The box for the text will just expand or contract based on what you need. And then once you're done, you can make the perfect planner visible again. Now, if you want to move text inside of here, just make sure up here that the move tool is selected. And then you can move things around on this sheet by just grabbing and dragging it and then letting the mouse go to drop it. So that's pretty much it. If you've never used Photoshop before, I highly recommend when you save these files out to use them on the web. Just do file export and use this, even though it says legacy, don't even worry about it. It's so much easier. You can pick over here if you want a JPEG, a PNG, a GIF file, and then you can change the sizes even. So you could say, actually, I only want this to be 600. And this will make sure that they're both like in proportion. So it won't like be a weird skewed image. And remember, the smaller your image is, the less disk space it will be. And then the less disk space it will be, that means the smaller and easier it is to load on the website. So here you can see it's going to be 55 kilobytes. Is that right? I think that's right. If I make this larger, so let's say I make this 6,000, it will now make this 453. So it's going to take up much more disk space. So just something to think about. I'm going to cancel because we don't need to save this. And that's pretty much it. Let me know. Do you guys have any questions about this? Oh, at the bottom of your, my video description. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. I will definitely check that out. Mary, how long is the discount code good for? That's a good question. You know, to be fair, because I am so behind, the discount code is good for the rest of the weekend or until I send an email out. I'm planning to send an email out tomorrow, but let's be real. I want to release the annual tomorrow, so I might not get around to it till Monday. So yeah, so that's that. Debbie, I agree. Definitely use legacy settings for Web Expert. I always use PNG for my transparent images. Yeah, thank you. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? So when you purchase this, you will get a chance to buy the digital planner version, which is for GoodNotes for 50% off. If that's something else you want to sell in your shop, definitely buy it. To be honest, I haven't uploaded it yet. So I'm going to work on that right now. It'll only take me a couple minutes. I'm going to upload that. Honestly, I'm going to eat lunch and then I will be back. I don't know what time, but I'll be back later today. Don't worry about it. Obviously, you guys don't have a lot of tech questions, but I will be back with that and I will show you how to edit that file as well. And then tomorrow we'll do the annual, then we'll do the monthly, then we'll do the weekly and the daily, et cetera, and so on. So we make it through everything for 2022. So you have all the files that you need to start selling. All right, guys, I hope everyone's having a good Saturday, and I will see you again in a few hours. All right.